G'day and welcome to Dave's Model Workshop. Here in Australia, we've just clicked over from a stinking hot summer into autumn, fall, and it's the perfect time to collect leaves to make scale leaves for dioramas. For you guys in America and Europe and all the Northern Hemisphere, you just have to remember this for 6 months. Sorry. But, perfect. Alright, let's see what I'm talking about. So these are the sort of leaves I'm talking about. These little guys here and here. This is the roof of my next building that I'm currently working on. And I thought it would be nice to have a few autumn leaves scattered on the top. Yeah. So, these little guys, you can buy them commercially. I'll show you a couple of pictures here of some commercially available leaves. And those are totally fine if you want to use them, and there's a lot of variety there. Definitely, you can get a whole bunch of different colors. It doesn't have to be autumnal, fall, brown leaves. But they're ridiculously expensive. You pay I saw these yesterday in my hobby shop for $10 for about 20 leaves, and it's got to be like 2 grams, so I don't know, it's more than gold. But you can make your own. So I bought this from RP Tools a couple of years ago, and it's a whole bunch of It's a stamp, it's a die cutter that has that oak leaf pattern on top. So you get yourself a leaf and you try and somehow get a curled leaf inside that stampy bit, and then it cuts the leaves out. So here are the leaves. And look, that's pretty cool. I've liked that. Let's get in nice and close. And I've used that before for a diorama, and it's particularly good for 1/35th scale. It's really good. Focus, there we go. But what I don't like about it is it's totally arbitrary where that central vein of a leaf goes. So on this one here, so you can see the scale of the things. They're pretty tiny. So on this one here, you can see that vein has gone sort of across the leaf, whereas in reality, that vein would go, wobbly camera, really small scale, that vein would go more that way rather than across there. It would be more lengthwise. So that's the only thing I don't like about these. Otherwise, they're really good. And in case you're wondering, once you've stamped them out of a leaf, it doesn't get funky, it doesn't get brittle, they pretty much stay. As long as the leaf is dry like that, it's not still green, what you get is pretty much what's going to stay there for years and years and years. So that's good. I recommend it. This cost me like $10, $15, I think. $10, I think. And, it's worked well. It stood me in good stead. But for yesterday, partly it's because I'm working in a different scale. So I'm working in 1/20th scale rather than 1/35th scale. I thought I really want to have that central vein looking realistic, like in this little guy just here. I wanted that to look realistic. And so I thought, well, why not try and carve my own leaves? Sounds insane. And again, working 1/20th scale, whoa, shivers. Quality camera work there. Working 1/20th scale is a bit more forgiving than 1/35th scale. But I thought, you know what, I could try and carve my own leaves. So with a very sharp scalpel, I did exactly that for those guys you just saw. The way to do it, these sort of leaves don't work so well. But what I have found, turns around, away from the camera. Okay, I'm back. What I have found is rose leaves. Dry rose leaves work really well. They're really veiny. You want something that's very good and veiny, and that sounds wrong. So what you do, grab yourself a rose leaf and just kind of gently shatter it a little bit into pieces. Okay, this piece will work nicely. And then you use these veins that you can see to kind of carve out a leaf. So I'm going to, bang, that's already given me a great little stem to the leaf. Now it's just a matter of carving it out to look more leaf-shaped. And look, a little bit of it is arbitrary. Oop. You know, it takes a few attempts, but the beauty is it's free. What's not to love there? So that leaf is not quite ready yet. I'm just going to trim it a little bit to get more of a leafy shape to it. Just bounced off, sorry. I'm going to have to hold it down. My fingers will probably get in the way. If they do, I apologize. It keeps flicking away. Look, to me, that's okay as a leaf. I can live with that. Let's do another one. So again, choose a vein to work with. Trim it as close as you can to it. Sorry, is my finger completely in the way? It is. Bugger. Trim it as close as you can to it. And then trim a leafy shape. So it does take a little practice, but like I said before, it's free. You know, all it's taking is time. The materials, walk down the street, they're free. Let's try this piece here. So there's already a good sort of veiny stem visible just here. So let's get it in the frame. There's already a good veiny stem visible here. So I'm just going to trim it off from that big central vein. Right. And then trim down so that it looks more round and less kind of triangular, because it does tend to shatter triangularly. There you go. That is a leaf that I'm happy with. Right there. And that's it. Easy peasy. Wobble the camera around. So yeah, that's it. So look, it's a bit of trial and error. Yeah, this central one's a bit crap, to be honest. I'm not too proud of that. Focus. Yeah, that's a bit crap. But at the scale we're working at, and as long as you don't have to do, you know, 5 dozen, because that would send you a bit mad, I think those would be okay. For reference, here is a 1/35th soldier next to them. I reckon if you needed a few of those, you can go the commercial route, and it's fine and it's quicker, definitely quicker. But for the authenticity, I just love those little central veins and those little stems on the end. They just make a difference to me. So look, I hope this has been helpful. It's an easy tip. It's time consuming, but you get good results. If you only need a few, like on this, then I think it's definitely worth the extra time and effort involved. If you needed to cover the entire thing, I'd go something like this every time. But yeah, that is how to make easy peasy leavies. Easy peasy leavies. Quality all the way. So yeah, hope this is helpful. Got any comments? Chime in below. But otherwise, remember this for 6 months, you Northern Hemisphere people. And otherwise, I'll see you next time on Dave's Model Workshop. Bye. Those first couple of leaves I cut weren't the greatest, so here's a couple more I've done without the camera in my face, between me and the leaves. It's taken literally 2 minutes, just to show to you that they don't all look as dodgy as the ones I cut earlier. Alright guys, see ya. Bye.